What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sweet and Savory Barbecue. I'm Jamie Trader. We've got a whole chicken here, some Cajun seasoning, and some Frank's Red Hot wing sauce. We're going to be doing some buffalo chicken dip out on the big green egg. Let's get started. Alright, so our first step, we're going to get some seasoning on this chicken. We're going to start back here on the back side. We're going to spray it with just a little cooking spray. It's going to help that skin brown, get nice and crisp. And now we're going to get some seasoning. We're using the new seasoning from Killer Hogs, Malcom Reed. It's his King Craw. It's a Cajun seasoning. We're just going to get a pretty good coat here on the outside. Go down the wings. Get a little pat in. And that's all we're going to do on the back side. Now we're going to flip it over and just do the same process on the front. Cooking spray, followed by that Cajun seasoning. Make sure you get the legs underneath the wings. Alright, we've got this bird all seasoned up. We're going to go ahead outside and get the big green egg fired up, and we're going to get this thing cooking. To start our big green egg, we're going to use a tumbleweed from Royal Oak Charcoal. Get that lit. And just kind of almost pyramid the charcoal around it. So we've got our bed of coals set up. We're just going to kind of push the hot coals around. That way we get a good even heat going. Throw in a couple of chunks of cherry wood. Get our deflector shield in place. We've got a pizza pan here wrapped up with aluminum foil as a drip pan. And then we're going to get our cooking grate in place. So we've got the big green egg up to temp. We're going to be running about 275 to 300. Just going to get our lid open. We want to get this over that drip pan we put in there and just get it centered up. Now we're going to let this cook for about an hour or so, and then we're going to come back and get a probe into it so we can keep an eye on that internal temperature. Alright, so it's been an hour. We're going to take a peek, see how our chicken's doing. Got a good color going on there. Get our probe in there, right in the breast meat. You can see we're sitting at about 116 degrees. Still got a ways to go. Let's get our lid back closed and keep rocking and rolling. So we just got the probe in. I don't want this chicken to get any darker, so all I'm going to do is just take the probe out for a quick second and kind of tent over top of it. We'll get that probe right back in there. Make sure we're not touching a bone, and get our lid closed and keep on cooking. Alright, our dot's going off. We've hit 165 degrees. We're going to go ahead and get this out of here. Chicken's looking nice and pretty. Make sure you got some heat protection on when you're taking these off. We're just going to get it right in this pan. We're going to get it inside and let it hang out for a little bit. We're going to close the egg. We're actually going to let this come up another 50 or so degrees, somewhere between 350, 375 is what we're going to be looking for to go ahead and for the chicken dip to get melted. Okay, so while our chicken's resting, we're going to go ahead and get our hot sauce and cream cheese mixture mixed up. We're going to start with 2 8-ounce packs of cream cheese. Just stick it in a bowl. I'm going to use a hand mixer to get this going. You can mix it by hand if you'd like. I just find it a little easier to use this. You just want to get this nice and smooth. Alright, now that we've got that, we're going to add a cup of your favorite hot sauce. I'm using Frank's wing sauce for this. And we're just going to start mixing that up. Alright, we're going to let that hang out and we'll get our chicken in here as soon as it's done resting. Alright, so our chicken's rested here for about 20 minutes. We're going to go ahead and dive into it. I'm just using my hands. We're going to get this chicken pulled apart. And you can leave it in pretty decent sized chunks. Go ahead and get some of that skin in there. That's where all that flavor's at from that rub. Get some of the dark meat from these legs and thighs. As you can see, it's still really juicy and moist. Perfectly cooked. You don't have to use all of this chicken. Just make it to what you need for the amount of people you're serving. And you can put the rest in the fridge for pulled chicken sandwiches, soups, all sorts of things. I'm going to get the rest of this pulled and we'll show you how we put it together. So we've got our chicken all pulled here. There's about 4 cups in here to what we made for our hot sauce mixture. We're going to go ahead and get that combined. All you're really doing is just kind of folding it in to that mixture. Once you've got it good and combined, we're going to move it over here to our cast iron skillet. And then we're going to go top it off with some cheese and get it back on to melt that top of that cheese. And get it mixed up. We're just going to go ahead and put it over here in our skillet. Make sure you get all that hot sauce cream cheese mixture. So now we're just going to top it with some shredded cheddar cheese. You can shred your own. I find it's just as easy to buy the pre-shredded stuff for this. And at this step, if you want, you can put it in the oven and let it melt. But we're going to get it back out on the egg and let it melt out there. That looks pretty good to me. Been about 15 minutes here. We've been melting our cheese here for our buffalo chicken dip. Running about 350. As you can see, it's all nice and melted. We're going to get this inside and then it's time to eat. So we've got this in off the egg. We're letting it cool down just a little bit. While we're doing that, we're just going to do a quick recap on what we did. We started with a whole chicken. This one weighed about 4 pounds, I would say. We got it seasoned up with the new King Craw from Malcom Reed at How to BBQ Right and got it out on our egg. We cooked it. It was about just under 2 hours, running around 300 degrees. Brought it back in and let it rest for about 20 minutes while we mixed up our hot sauce and cream cheese mixture. We got that all blended together and put our pulled chicken in there after we got it pulled. And we got it all combined and put it in our cast iron skillet. We cranked our heat up on the egg to about 350. You can do it in the oven at that point or on any other grill is fine. And let this cheese melt. It took about 15-20 minutes or so. Now we're going to dig in. We've got some scoop style chips. And I'm going to use a spoon just to dig it on out of here. That way I don't burn my fingers. Get a nice piece of that chicken in there. Really good flavor, really good spice. The cheese is nice and melted. Chicken's perfectly cooked. There's a little bit of that skin in there giving us that flavor from that rub. This will make a great football food for the big game this weekend. Get me another one here. And you pick up a lot of the grill flavor from doing it out on the egg. Much better than doing it in the oven, in my opinion. Thank you for checking out this week's video. We hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Check us out on all our other social media outlets, and that's Facebook and Instagram. And we'll see y'all next time.